Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer. We are in online action. I am playing the Warriors of Chaos, as you can see from Big Kholek here, and we are fighting up against Norska. So, since this map is very tight, we will be kicking off fairly shortly, so let's put it in slow motion for the builds here. I do indeed have Kholek the Suneater. He's got his lightning, as well as the leadership buff, standard die. We've got the Swords of Chaos for support. My main line is 3 Chaos Marauders to break the charge. We've got 2 Chaos Warriors with great weapons, which are a very effective unit, very cost effective. We've also got 2 Forsaken on each flank, of course one of them being the Demon Spew. As well, I've also got 2 Marauder Horsemen with Javelins. They're going to be riding around either flank, so definitely getting some good action there. As well, I do have a Chaos Sorcerer with the Lore of Fire up here on a Manticore. He's carrying Fireball, Kindle Flame, and the Flaming Sword of Ruin. For my opponent, who's actually Pharaoh Owar, you guys may remember I played him in that Estalia versus Beastmen mod battle. I just randomly ran into him on ladder, so always a fun time to play against another good player. He's got a really interesting build, and I definitely wanted to show you guys this. It's something that I like to do against the dwarves, and it works fairly well against Chaos as well. You can see he's got a main line of Marauder Berserkers here. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 Marauder Berserkers, as well as the Brutes of the Hound. He also has a Famir Balefiend with the Lore of Shadows. Looks like he's got Enfeebling Foe and the Withering. His Lord is Wulfrik the Wanderer on foot. He does have the Maws of Savagery. As well, he also has the Miststalkers, which are the Famir Warrior Regiment of Renown. So the idea here is you're going to sunder the armor with the Famir, and that'll allow the Berserkers to absolutely wreak havoc against the heavily armored, Chaos Warriors and Forsaken and so on. Definitely be able to trade better there. In addition to that, he also has some Famir Warriors with great weapons on this flank. So these guys have heavy armor piercing as well as a bonus versus large. So very good unit. Also has 2 Marauder Hunters. This one Norscan Ice Wolf here, and again the Maws of Savagery. So very strong build. I definitely like what he was going for here, and let's see how it goes. So we'll kick things into full gear here. You can see we're both kind of squaring up, getting ready. I did try and shoot a fireball at these Maws of Savagery, but definitely dodged there. Not going to do too much damage. So I'm just pushing up around these Marauder Horsemen. Pharaoh Owar did not see these guys, so I'm going to sick them immediately onto his Marauder Hunters to try and keep them from firing too much on Kholek. And we're just going to get the mainline engagement underway here, and you can see with the support of these Famir, the Marauder Berserkers are actually going to absolutely shred through these Forsaken and the Marauders and these low-tier units, and even the Chaos Warriors with great weapons here will get absolutely shredded. You can see the terror from the Regiment of Renown already kicking in and routing off those Marauders. They're already gone. In this fight over here, we are going to be dropping the Flaming Sword of Ruin, since I saw these the Maws of Savagery on this side. They're probably going to be coming after Kholek, so drop the fire damage, and you can see an absolutely mad battle ensuing. The Famir Warriors with great weapons are taking quite a bit of damage from Kholek, but they are dealing some decent damage to the Swords of Chaos in return. You can see here in the back line, the Marauder Javelins were actually able to beat off beat off, that sounds a little inappropriate. They were able to beat back the Marauder Horsemen, so that's a very good play for Pharaoh Owar. He's going to be able to get these Marauder Hunters back online and be able to do quite a bit of damage to Kholek. Seeing that, I do bring my Chaos Sorcerer Lore of Fire down in here. He's going to drop the Hunter of Champions from Wulfrik, so he won't be able to do quite as much damage there, but not pursuing with Wulfrik at the moment. Over here, the Famir Warriors with great weapons are getting absolutely shredded by Kholek. We're going to be getting a Lightning Strike coming in here right on top of these Marauder Berserkers. We'll do quite a bit of damage, some beautiful cinematic action there. Over on this flank, though, my forces are completely broken. You can see I do have some forces now rallying, but he's able to just aggressively push through, and those Miststalkers have not taken hardly any damage, so really, really rough situation right now. My only recourse right now is to try and kill Wulfrik, so I now have Kholek Suneater. He's matched up on Wulfrik as well. We did drop the Flaming Sword of Ruin again to help clean up these Maws of Savagery, just to get him out of here, and Wulfrik is not having a good time. Even with the support of these hounds here, he is going to take a substantial amount of damage from Kholek. You can see he's very low already, and he is going to be shattered soon enough. So we do drop the Chaos Sorcerer Lore of Fire back on these Marauder Hunters, just trying to pull away and you can see the Maws of Savagery actually being pulled away, and here the Swarm of Flies from the Demon Spew is absolutely critical right now in helping this fight hold. You can see the units that are regrouping are now going to get a bit of a rear charge, so maybe we'll be able to pull this fight back here in the center, but we'll see. Most of the large units, both the Famir actually pulling away, trying to go after Kholek. He's now getting fired on by the javelins and kind of shredded by a lot of these units here. This Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Fire as well, completely surrounded, getting pummeled by the Famir, and, you know, just taking an absolute beating here. This is definitely not where he wants to be. He's going to go down very fast. I'm pulling away Kholek, and the Maws of Savagery are in pursuit, so we're going to bring the Swords of Chaos to help screen, and they will be able to take down these Maws of Savagery in this very sort of atrocious late-game fight. You can see a ton of burst damage coming from the fire damage there, and actually able to kill off a few of the unit models, which is very, very important. So, here in the center, just kind of zerging back towards, we do have this Chaos Warrior with great weapons matched up one-on-one on this Bale Fiend, which is great. We're able to do some good damage there, and a lot of my opponent's forces are getting very, very tattered at this point. We're going to be dropping another great lightning strike right on top of these Marauder Berserkers. Boom! Just exploding a whole bunch of them. So that is going to cause some issues for these guys, but this Miststalker, still very healthy, 8 unit models, about 60% HP, and the terror from them is a big issue. You can see it's routing off a lot of my troops right now, and the Forsaken are just, you know, they are immune to psychology, but their leadership is broken, so I'm really just trying to get rid of these javelins at this point. They're one of the biggest threats to Kholek, so right now jumping on this unit here, and we are going to have some regrouped Marauder Horsemen be able to at least tie down this unit of Marauder Javelins just for a moment, so that Kholek can get his work done. Some really nice work getting done there. Over here, the infantry sort of zerging force for my opponent is fairly tattered, but I'm just trying to regroup my forces over here. So we're going to start pulling back away this way, and my opponent's in a bit of a tight spot now. We've mostly brought it back, but if he can really get a nice infantry engagement, and with these Miststalkers clean up most of the rest of this infantry, I'm going to be in for some major trouble. But this unit of Marauder Hunters is pretty much routed off at this point. They may come back, but this unit as well, again, able to beat those Marauder Hunters back, but then Kholek coming in to rout them, and at this point I'm like, okay, we pretty much just have to finish off these Famir at this point. A lot of my troops are going to be very susceptible to terror. These Chaos Warriors with great weapons will probably terror rout shortly, but luckily the Forsaken are immune to psychology, and Papa's back. Alright, so Kholek's getting in here. He's going to be trying to take down the last of these Famir, who are wisely jumping immediately on him. We're going to be having some kind of, probably the Enfeebling Foe, or the Withering, and the Enfeebling's Foe, so Kholek getting horribly debuffed here. A lot of the forces routing off. It's looking pretty rough, but the terror takes hold, and the Famir Warriors are not immune to psychology. Neither are the Berserkers, so at this point it's just the Miststalkers. So if Kholek can hold out and beat back these Miststalkers, then it's a victory for me. Very, very tight fight at this point. Getting some nice auto attacks, taking down some more of the unit models of the Famir with great weapons, making sure they don't come back, and now turning his attention to the Miststalkers. So getting an absolute pummeling, taking one down there, and smashing another one in the face there, and he's taken absolutely no mercy on these guys. So he does end up routing them off, and a very, very close victory. Well played to Pharaoh War. Definitely enjoyed playing that. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Very, very tight fight, and definitely shows, you know, with the recent Norska nerf, how, you know, if he had previously, the Maws of Savagery would have cost substantially less, and the Marauder Hunters would have been slightly cheaper as well. So he could have brought, you know, maybe 1 or 2 more units, and although that may not have decided the battle in the end, it definitely could have. So, you know, definitely, I think the nerfs that went to Norska are warranted. Very cool build from Pharaoh War. This is something I would definitely recommend. The Famir mixed with the Marauder Berserkers will pretty much crush most of the Chaos front line. You can see the Chaos Warriors with great weapons hardly doing anything, whereas normally you would think they would excel. The Forsaken getting a respectable number of kills, the Demon Spew, of course, being very clutch. The Swords of Chaos as well, getting some nice kills on the Maws of Savagery. Marauder Horsemen, while they didn't get a ton of kills, they were able to tie down those Marauder Hunters and allow Kholek to get some major, major work done. The Flaming Sword of Ruin as well from the Chaos Sorcerer, pretty useful at helping take down those Maws of Savagery. Definitely helped them be less effective, but 106 kills on the Miststalkers and 31 kills on the Chevron for the Famir Warriors with great weapons. Man, great tool against Chaos, so hope you guys enjoyed that. I definitely enjoyed playing it. Thanks again to Pharaoh War for a great game, and if you guys are liking the content, like the video and subscribe. Helps the channel grow. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you next time.